Hello, seventh grade. How are you? So, today we are going to be doing lesson 2 in our Earth Science unit. And let's see what we're going to be doing today. So, it is Thursday, the 16th of April. Our agenda today, you should have already done your bell work and then be watching this lesson. And then after the lesson, you need to do your assignment for 416 on Google Classroom. It is a list of instructions because you're going to be working in your interactive notebook today. Reminders, assignments, please need to be turned in so you get counted for your attendance. I don't care if they all come in at the end of the week, just turn them in, please. Okay. Your daily work, bell work today is due, and your assignment is due in Google Classroom on your interactive notebook. Your objective today, we're going to examine and make a model of how conduction is used to heat our planet. Okay, so we studied about conduction yesterday. Conduction is the transfer of energy through an object to another. As we have talked about, some things transfer energy better than others. For example, metal is a much better conductor of energy than, say, wood. Okay, that's why when I cook with, like when I showed you the picture of the person that was making the soup yesterday. They were stirring the pot with a wooden spoon. That's because the wooden spoon's not going to get hot. If I did it with a metal spoon, it would soon get too hot for me to hold, and I'd have to get something different. Okay, so conduction is the transfer of energy through an object to another. Now, the objects have to be touching. Now, don't be fooled. Air is a kind of matter, and it can be transferred through and gain energy. Okay, and that's going to be kind of the point of our lesson today. The movement of molecules in matter is related to its thermal energy. The higher the energy, the faster the molecules move. We've talked about this before. If I have an object that has very, very little thermal energy, then it's going to be in a solid because its molecules are only vibrating slightly in place. If I have something that is extremely hot, has a lot of thermal energy, depending on the substance, it could be a gas. Okay, just like water can turn from ice to a liquid water to a water vapor into a gas. The higher the energy, the faster the molecules are moving. Energy can be transferred or transformed, and we know by the conservation law of energy, it cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred or transformed. Solar energy is given off by the sun, and solar energy is a kind of light energy. We didn't talk about light energy too much, but we know it's there. Many of you have calculators that run on solar energy, or you have something else that runs on solar energy. It's not the heat that makes it go from the sun, it's the light. Okay. All right. So we have 3 scientific principles that we have done so far. Number 1, light energy from the sun is mostly transmitted through the air before reaching the Earth's surface. That surface absorbs some of the light energy that reaches it. Molecules can transfer thermal energy from one end of an object to another and to other objects by conduction. We saw this with our experiment yesterday. We had the rod that we had one end of the rod was sitting on the hot plate, and the other end of the rod had 4 little balls of shortening on it. And we saw how the thermal energy started at one end by the heat source and moved through the rod by where the shortening melted and fell off. Okay, it doesn't happen to the whole thing at once. It happens gradually, and it moves from the heat source down. Thermal energy causes molecules to speed up, and this results in molecules colliding with each other, and this transfers the kinetic energy from one molecule to another. That's why it took time for the molecules in the rod to gain that thermal energy and transfer them down the length of the rod. Okay, now this next one's new. The air at the Earth's surface is primarily heated by the transfer of energy from the ground below it. Okay, so this is going to affect our weather patterns. What we're doing is we are setting up the building blocks so we understand why things are happening. So when we get to talking about the weather, we know what's causing it. Okay, so I have a model of our solar energy that's being converted into thermal energy. So I have my sun, and don't tell Mrs. Nolan, I know we're not supposed to make little suns in the corner, but yeah, you guys know my lovely art skills. Okay. So we have the sun right here, and the yellow arrows stand for energy transfer from the sun to the surface of the earth. So I have the earth's surface right here. The red arrows stand for, oh, go away. Okay, the red arrows coming up stand for the energy transfer from the surface of the surface of the earth into the air. So it's taking this light energy, transferring it from and the heat into the air molecules by way of conduction. So the matter in the air is touching the matter in the surface of the earth, and it's transferring that energy. Okay, and then all my little purple dots stand for heated air molecules. Not too bad. Okay, so you are going to be today, let's look at your assignment. 7th grade assignment for 416. Copy the 2 new slides into your Earth Science interactive notebook. So if we come up here to the new slides for Earth Science interactive notebook, you'll see we have these 2 new slides. Okay, so the first one, you are going to make your own model of the energy transfer. So I put the instructions here and my model. Okay, now I don't want to see these instructions or my model on your paper. I want you to do your own. Okay, so let's go back and look at the instructions. So you need to, again, create that model that shows the energy transfer from the sun with the light to the Earth's surface and then into the air molecules. You need to include the following: a key, the sun, arrows to show the energy transfer from the sun to the surface. I use the big yellow arrows for that. A different color of arrow to show the energy transfer from the surface of the earth into air molecules. Okay, so that's what the red arrows are. The light energy is absorbed by the earth's surface, and then it is transferred into the molecules. Okay, then you need to have your heated air molecules. I use purple speckles. You can use what you like, and you don't have to have as many as I do. I did this on my iPad, and I had a little tool that made all the speckles for me. As long as you have a bunch of them, it's fine. Don't spend 3 hours doing that. Okay, now you need to make a model of this particular scenario. It should look similar to mine, but it doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Okay, you can make this in your interactive notebook with the drawing tools, shapes and such, or you can draw a picture of it on paper and then take a picture of your picture, upload it into your science interactive notebook. Okay, either one is just fine. When you are done, you should have not my instructions or my model on your page. So delete both of these so you have room to put your own. I would suggest actually putting in an extra slide right there, doing your model, and then just deleting this one. But that's just me. You can do what you like. Okay. Also, you need to put in the scientific principles slide. Okay, this needs to be in your interactive notebook. I will be doing a notebook check on this weekend. Okay, you will be getting, this is going to be worth 25 points to have your interactive notebook filled out so far with your personalized front page, and you have all of the pages in it. Okay. So hopefully you don't have any questions. If you do, I will be on the Zoom chat tomorrow morning and in the afternoon. And I hope you guys have a great day.